Welcome back to my channel. I'm Simran and I run a small business called as Strawberry Moo, and this channel is like a backstage of my little business. So I thought today's video should be a little different. I thought I should make a little tutorial. So in this video you're going to learn how I made my new live doodle booth. Before that, let's start with what is a live doodle booth. I'm an illustrator and I have drawn many commissions, especially in lockdown when all you could send were digital gifts. But I always wanted to draw people live. I was very scared of sitting in front of someone and drawing them while they watch me do it. I am a socially anxious person. I'm not very comfortable with people watching me draw or do anything creative because I'm sure I'll mess it up. So I decided I can make a machine, a fake machine actually, which gives out doodle strips when you put a token in it. But the catch was that there will be no machine at the back, there will be me and I'll draw the people. So many of my videos went viral and this concept has slowly started picking up pace and many people want to make their own live doodle stations. I get a lot of DMs asking me how I made it, what are the materials that I use. So I thought I'll just make a concise video with all the details so that all the questions get answered. So my first live doodle booth was shaped like a little cute house. I love that live doodle booth because firstly it is very special. I'm very attached to that one, but that doodle booth was very big, so I decided I want to make a slightly smaller booth which I can easily carry. So first I take a piece of paper and sketch out a basic shape for the booth. I usually go for a vertical rectangle as it takes up less space, and if you're setting it up at markets, it still leaves you enough room to showcase your products. I felt 30 inches by 38 inches dimensions will make it compact but also leave enough room for design. Then I divide it into 3 sections. The top is where the title and the branding go. The middle part is for the mirror or the window of the booth through which I see the people. And the bottom part, which I keep the most space for, is where the main design sits and where people can insert or collect their tokens. I also mark out rough measurements of how big I want each section to be. I keep the branding section small and the bottom largest so that there is more space for creative illustrations. This time I wanted the shape of my booth to be like a strawberry, but of course I can't keep it pointy at the bottom because it won't stand. So I designed it like a strawberry but with a flat base. And then I just roughly marked all the sections that I want on the strawberry. So this is how I made a rough layout. It is always good to have a rough plan before you begin digitizing anything. That way it leaves you more creative freedom to do what you want, which I feel is not so good once you start digitizing it. So also the sizes for the tokens and the strip can differ. If you want to make a bigger sort of image that comes out of it, then the collect your slot will look different, and the size of the token also differs. If you want a tiny token, or maybe you directly want to take money instead of a token, so all that you can decide and plan accordingly on a paper first, and then you get to digitizing it. So digitizing anything is my favorite part because that's when whatever you've thought of starts coming alive. I digitize on my iPad and I use Procreate. So I'll quickly share how I did it with you guys. So when I start digitizing it, I start with the internal frame. So the internal frame is a wooden frame which holds the boat together and keeps it from falling. Now since the frame is wooden, I obviously cannot make it strawberry shaped. So I kept the frame slightly smaller and kept some extra space to create the strawberry design which extends beyond the frame. To get accurate measurements, I use the 2D grid tool and keep the size as 1 square inch. So this helps me size everything correctly. Then I mark the strawberry outline beyond the frame, and along with it I added the insert here and collect your slots to see how it looks. But I felt like the strawberry was too elongated. So I switched to a 30 by 30 inch canvas, a perfect square, so that the strawberry looked chonkier and cuter. And finally, I added the little eyes and details to bring the strawberry to life. I just showed you like this is the front side, and it's what the people actually see when they visit the booth. And here they put in the token and they collect it from here. Okay, but this is quite 2D, and just making it won't make the doodle booth stand on its own. So how you have to make the booth is, if this is the front side, you need to add 2 flaps to the side so that the booth stands on its own. So this is how the booth stands. That means we also have to design the side flaps. So I thought on one side we can have the instructions of the doodle booth, and on the other side there can be a sample of the kind of strip that you'll receive, but with Strawberry Motown characters, so that people also get used to the characters and you also see how the mock-up strip looks like. I kept the color of the side panel same as the strawberry, and on one side I made the photo booth style strip, and the other side I made like an instruction board for people to understand how the booth works. I thought that the title portion can be the green part of the strawberry, and it can have like live doodles written on it. And as for the other branding, I decided to make like a small strawberry truck with the Strawberry Motown characters in it. And when it's all put together, this is how the booth looks. I made some markings for where the frame would go roughly. I also designed these insert your collect your stickers because I don't want to directly write that on the booth, so that I can change the look of the booth, and also because sometimes it starts looking too big after getting printed, the text I mean. So this is done and we are ready to get it printed. So I get this printed on a sunboard, I think 5 mm thickness sunboard, because that is quite thick, and you can even go for really thinner sizes, that is slightly less expensive. But then I feel like once I make it, it should at least be with me for 1 year without getting damaged, because it is a very hectic process to get it printed and built. Next, I got all the pieces printed, and then we called our carpenter uncle to help assemble the main frame of the booth. This compact framing idea is actually my father-in-law's. He is very good with this kind of work and guided me through building the entire booth. The carpenter uncle was also amazing. He carefully understood my requirements first and then made the frame as compact and sturdy as possible. And just like that, the booth started coming together. Once the setup of the booth was done and the booth was up and standing, I added the insert token and collect your stickers over the booth. And this is how finally the booth looks. These are the side flaps. This is how it looks up close. These are the collect here and insert token slots. And this is how the booth looks from the back. This is the one-way mirror strip. So you can see the people, but they can't see you unless there is like a very bright light behind you. And when I place this booth on the top of my table, this is like a little workstation where I draw the people, and these are how the slots for collecting and giving the strip look. And that's my little lucky charm. This is how you can just close it and store it so that it doesn't take much space. So this is how big the booth is. Usually I hold it from behind like this, and then it becomes easy to carry. Good morning, and today is the day we finally reveal the booth, and this is how our first experience with the new live doodle booth went. I'm so glad everyone who visited was so sweet. And that's me sitting behind the live doodle booth and drawing people back to back. Oh, how I love this little life. And these are some mascots I got printed so I can display them beside the booth. Okay, so now the last two things that I want to share with you guys are the strips and the tokens, because those are like the main part of the doodle booth. So I'll share the strips first because I just have them here. So this is what a strip looks like. One of my doodle strips, it's blue with some strawberries on it. I have like a few more designs. This is what like the doodle strip looks like once it's doodled. So this is one design, and then I have this little pink design too, and then I have like a Polaroid option. So this is like a yellow Polaroid, and I also have a pink Polaroid. That's my husband's doodle, by the way. A yellow and a pink Polaroid. These are like the design options that I give the people who visit. I like to use a natural paper because it holds the ink easily. It dries off quickly. So when you use a glossy paper, I know it looks very pretty, but it takes a lot of time to dry. And the main thing in a live doodle booth is the speed, because there are people waiting, and personally I feel very pressured when people are waiting for the art to get done. And the last thing that I like to do is to add my QR code at the back of the strip. And now I'll talk about the tokens. Everyone loves the tokens that I have designed. I have customized every token to be different so that they have something to choose from. I have 13 to 14 token designs. So I've just used basic MDF discs which you get in any stationery shop, and then I have drawn on them with acrylic paints and Sharpie. And yeah, I have written my brand name at the back. This gives people like a more fun experience. So usually the guys who visit my booth choose this one. They simply love this, and this one is made by my husband. So we actually did a little art date to paint all these tokens. So this is a bunny that I have made, and then this is a bunny that he made. We had a lot of fun making this. I just love these tokens. They are so cute. So this is a cute little froggy. This is also one of my personal favorites. I just want to try and add like cute experiences in every part of the process, because it's not just about the doodle strip that they take home, it's also about how they felt while getting it done, the experience of it. So I think this is it. It's quite easy to make the live doodle booth. Just need to, plan things out first, how you want it to be, and make it unique. So I hope this video helped you and you enjoyed watching it. If it did, I would love for you to stick around. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. It will help me grow. And that's it for this video. Thank you. Bye.